But think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
The View, a long-standing daytime talk show, is in the midst of a full-blown crisis. Known for its controversial takes and outspoken hosts, the show has recently faced unprecedented backlash. This time, the target was Caroline Leavitt, a young, sharp, and unapologetic conservative powerhouse. What followed was a legal bombshell that has left ABC executives scrambling for damage control. But how did it all unfold, and what does this mean for the future of The View?
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. That was so good.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
It all started on a recent episode of The View, where the hosts, led by Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, launched a full-scale attack on Caroline Levit, a rising conservative star. The segment began with Joy Behar, known for her smug demeanor and condescending tone, dismissing Levit's intelligence and political expertise. In a shocking moment, Behar reduced Levit's entire career to her appearance, claiming that Levit was only hired because she was a 10 in Trump's eyes. The comment was not only dismissive, but also deeply hypocritical, coming from a show that claims to champion women's empowerment and professional achievements. Then came Whoopi Goldberg, who doubled down on the attack with her trademark self-righteousness. Goldberg argued that Levit wouldn't even have a job if it weren't for wokeness, claiming that women like Levit owe their careers to the struggles of previous generations. "Let me explain something to you," Goldberg said, her voice rising with indignation. "Without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Women weren't invited to that table. Women weren't invited to many tables in this." The irony was palpable. Here were two women who had built their careers on advocating for gender equality and women's rights, publicly belittling a young, successful woman simply because they disagree with her politics. The hypocrisy was staggering. While The View often positions itself as a platform for empowering women, this incident revealed a different truth. The show only uplifts women who align with its ideological agenda. The attack didn't stop there. Sunny Hostin, another co-host, chimed in with her own criticisms, further piling on Levitt. The segment quickly devolved into a one-sided takedown, with the host dismissing Levitt's accomplishments and reducing her to a caricature. It was a blatant display of elitism and condescension, and it didn't go unnoticed. What made the situation even more outrageous was the context. The View has long positioned itself as a voice for progress and inclusivity, yet here they were tearing down a young woman for daring to have a different perspective. The host's comments were not just dismissive, they were deeply personal and demeaning. It was a clear attempt to silence Levitt and undermine her credibility, but as we'll see, it backfired spectacularly. This moment wasn't just an attack on Caroline Levitt, it was a revealing look at the double standards and hypocrisy that have come to define The View. The hosts, who often lecture others on tolerance and respect, showed none of those qualities in their treatment of Levitt. It was a moment that would set the stage for what came next, a viral clapback that would leave The View reeling and ABC executives scrambling for damage control.
While we will expose the fake news when they are fake, we will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of President Trump. I can also assure the American people that they are going to be hearing directly from the leader of the free world. And the press likes to hear that too. That's something that has not happened over the past 4 years.
Caroline Leavitt wasn't about to let The View's attack go unanswered. Known for her sharp wit and unapologetic style, Leavitt fired back with a scorched earth response that left no room for ambiguity. In a now viral video, she dismantled The View and its hosts piece by piece, exposing them for what they truly are: a panel of bitter, out-of-touch elitists who claim to support women, but only if those women toe the ideological line. Leavitt's response was nothing short of masterful. She didn't just clap back, she annihilated them. With precision and poise, she called out the hypocrisy of The View hosts, particularly Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, for their condescending and dismissive remarks. These women claim to stand for empowerment, but the moment a young woman dares to have a different opinion, they tear her down, Leavitt said, her tone cutting and unflinching. But they don't want strong women, they want obedient women who parrot their talking points. And she didn't stop there. Leavitt took direct aim at Joy Behar's comment about her looks, firing back with a biting retort. "Joy Behar reduced my career to my appearance because she couldn't handle the fact that a young woman like me has achieved success on my own terms. is not just insulting, it's pathetic. Levitt's words were sharp, factual, and delivered with the confidence of someone who knows she's in the right. Then she turned her attention to Whoopi Goldberg's claim about wokeness being the reason for her success. Levitt dismantled Goldberg's argument with surgical precision, pointing out the irony of a woman who has benefited from decades of progress, now using that same progress as a weapon to belittle others. Whoopi says, "I wouldn't have a job without wokeness," Levitt said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Funny because the only thing keeping The View relevant is its ability to stir up controversy. Without that, they'd have nothing. Levitt didn't just defend herself, she went on the offensive, exposing the double standards and toxic culture of The View. She called out the hosts for their elitism, their lack of self-awareness, and their inability to engage with opposing viewpoints without resorting to personal attacks. "These women are completely out of touch with reality," Levitt declared. "They preach tolerance and inclusivity, but only for those who agree with them. Anyone else is fair game for their vitriol." The video was a tour de force, and it didn't take long for it to go viral. Within hours, social media was ablaze with support for Levitt. Hashtags like "Cancel the View" and "Caroline Levit owns the View" began trending on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Commentators and viewers alike praised Levitt for her courage and eloquence, with many calling it one of the most powerful takedowns in recent memory. The fallout was immediate. The View's audience, already divided, began to turn against the show. Fans who had once defended the hosts now called out their hypocrisy, with one viral comment summing it up perfectly. The View preaches empowerment but mocks any woman who doesn't fit their agenda. Caroline Levit just exposed them for the frauds they are. Levitt's clapback wasn't just a response, it was a reckoning. By standing her ground and refusing to be silenced, she not only defended herself, but also exposed the rot at the core of The View. Her video was a wake-up call, not just for the show's hosts, but for the media landscape as a whole. And as we'll see, the repercussions of her response would send shockwaves through ABC and beyond.
They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
The public reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Hashtags like "Cancel the View" and "Caroline Levit owns the View" dominated Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Fans who once defended the show are now calling out its hypocrisy. The View's audience is turning against them, and the backlash is undeniable. The show's toxic, alienating image is driving sponsors away, with brands reconsidering their association.
Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Behind the scenes, ABC executives are in full-blown damage control mode. What started as a routine segment on The View, a platform known for its controversial hot takes, has spiraled into one of the most significant PR disasters in the show's history. Leak reports suggest that producers are furious, scrambling to contain the fallout from Caroline Levitt's viral takedown. It was supposed to be a simple smear job against a young conservative commentator has backfired spectacularly, leaving ABC with a crisis on its hands. The situation has become so dire that rumors are swirling about the future of The View and its hosts. Some executives are reportedly questioning whether Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, two of the show's most prominent figures, have become more of a liability than an asset. Their unrelenting attacks on Levitt, coupled with their dismissive and condescending tone, have alienated a significant portion of the audience. Sponsors are reportedly getting cold feet, with several brands reconsidering their association with the show. According to insiders, ABC is in a state of panic. Producers are holding emergency meetings to discuss how to mitigate the damage, but the options are limited. The backlash has been swift and unrelenting, with social media users and commentators alike calling for accountability. One leaked report even suggested that ABC executives are considering drastic measures, including potentially replacing some of the hosts or overhauling the show's format entirely. The irony is hard to ignore. The View has built its brand on controversy, often leaning into divisive topics to generate buzz and rating. But this time, the controversy has crossed the line. The hosts' personal attacks on Levit, coupled with their blatant hypocrisy, have struck a nerve with viewers. The show's toxic, alienating image is driving sponsors away, and the network is feeling the heat. To make matters worse, the backlash isn't just coming from conservative viewers. Even some of The View's traditional supporters are turning against the show, calling out the host for their elitism and lack of self-awareness. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. The View claims to be a platform for women's voices, but only if those voices echo their own. Caroline Levit just exposed them for the frauds they are. ABC's attempts to contain the fallout have been met with mixed success. The network has reportedly reached out to Levit behind the scenes, hoping to broker some kind of truce, but so far those efforts have gone nowhere. Levit, emboldened by the overwhelming support she's received, shows no signs of backing down. Meanwhile, the show's ratings are under scrutiny, with some analysts predicting a long-term decline if the network doesn't take decisive action. The situation has left ABC with a difficult decision to make. Do they double down on their current hosts and risk further alienating their audience, or do they clean house and attempt to salvage what's left of the show's reputation? Either way, the fallout from this scandal is far from over. For The View, a show that has thrived on controversy for decades, this could be the moment that finally tips the scales.
And you would think, ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that.
The fallout from this scandal raises serious questions about the future of The View. Can the show survive this PR disaster, or has it finally burned itself beyond repair? The backlash is out of control, the hypocrisy is undeniable, and ABC is facing a very real and very painful decision. Do they cut ties and attempt to salvage their reputation, or do they double down and risk watching The View go down in flames?
And so I hope that the media will focus on the issues that matter to the American people, the issues that led them to vote in a resounding way for President Trump on November the 5th. That's what President Trump is focused on more so than ever. We have an array of executive action that will be rolled out on day one to change the lives of the American people immediately.
The View's recent controversy with Caroline Levit has exposed deep-seated issues within the show. From the host's hypocritical attacks to the overwhelming public backlash, it's clear that The View is at a crossroads. Will this be the moment that takes down the show for good, or will ABC manage to ride out the storm? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, this isn't over yet. What are your thoughts on The View's future? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.